Alright, we're here for round 3 with the green-red goggles ramp deck, and we won the die roll! Alright, yeah, hand's great. Nothing else really to say about it. We could gamble a little bit on 2, discarding the Traverse to the Tormenting Voice. We could also just go Traverse instead, just to make sure we hit our land drop for Pilgrimage, and then save Traverse for Fall of the Titans later. And since it looks like he's the green-white token deck, I believe we'll do just that. Not sure we're going to need all this red mana, but... Okay. Alright, a little Lambo Pacifist action. I think that card is very good. Alrighty, well, we'll go ahead and ramp a little bit. Next turn, we have the potential to Fall the Titans for 3. We could also just go Land Pilgrimage, Tormenting Voice, and then Atarka after that. If he goes Nissa tick down, and we're not able to kill this, then we'll change gears. Okay, battle for 4. That's also fine. Well, it's not fine. Right, we do get the full Monty. Is that offensive? I don't think it is. It was a movie. Alright, well, let's just plan on killing something with a Tarka next turn. Probably a Gideon, if I had to guess. It's always Gideon. I think Gideon is way scarier than this pacifist right now. Yeah, we need to just get something online that can potentially threaten another planeswalker. And if we could kill both creatures, that would be a consideration, since the Fall of the Titan can do some damage. And it's also possible we should have considered holding the Tormenting Voice so that we could go Tormenting Voice Fall of the Titans for a little more. But as it stands, next turn we can still do it for 3. If we draw any spell that costs a reasonable amount of mana, 3 or less, we can do it for 4. Okay, well he's got Avacyn, so we'll just sit. World Breaker. We'll kill that Vista, and we got a blocker for his Avacyn. Can't really attack, so we're not gonna. And we just play a little defense here, I think. Both of our creatures can block his Avacyn, though, which is nice. We could attack and trample for 4, but here I think we just want to make sure we can survive. And next turn we can actually just hardcast Fall of the Titans for 4. We can just do 4 Angel and 4 Helm, attack for 8, put him to 8. Keeping him off the second white mana doesn't do a ton against stuff like Gideon because of Oath of Nissa. If we draw a cheap spell, we can go cheap spell, Fall of the Titans, these 2 creatures. And that would be nice. Okay, probably going to kill Avacyn and Nissa. If he ticks up, he actually makes his Archangel a little too big for us. I don't think he's going to attack, though, unless if he goes Declaration Stone, then he's probably still not going to attack. Jamoka's Command could be very annoying. Potentially we could go Fall of the Titan for 0 and then Fall of the Titan for a lot. I think I'll just wait. Kind of want to attack for 8. It's a little dangerous. YOLO! Potentially threaten to kill him next turn. Definitely should have played Draw Near Temple. That was a mistake. Now I can't get my Warbreaker back if I chump block with it. Not this turn anyway. I think he's going to go counter fight Warbreaker and try to go for the kill. If he does that, we're just gonna annihilate him. So what we can do, if he goes Dromoka's command, go +1/+1 fight, we can actually go 1 to the Butcher and 1 to Nissa. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3. So 1 Butcher, 1 Nissa. And then we could do it again for 5 and go 5 here, 5 here. I think we are going to kill the Nissa just to get off the table, and then just sweep his Archangel and his Butcher. So yeah, we do want to kill the Nissa, I think, and then do 5 and 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Play around the Dromcom. Whoop ya! Whoop ya! Now we're completely out of steam, you know, except for the 8/8 flying trample and the 5/7 reach that we can get back. You know, but we didn't have anything else in hand. So this matchup is not super easy. This is the matchup, I think, where Brad just got pummeled in the quarterfinals of the Pro Tour. Gideon is usually pretty tough to deal with. We luckily drew our Tarka instead of Worldbreaker. That's why Tarka's in the deck. I think Chandra's pretty good in the matchup. It can be a little awkward since it doesn't really help against Secure the Waste, but sometimes you just need to clean up some of the early creatures. It can also put a little pressure on the Planeswalkers too, which is nice. Honestly, I have no idea how to sideboard in the matchup. Again, I should probably just read Brad's article and should probably have everything written down over here so I can reference it, but I don't. So I'm just going to kind of do what I think is right. Traverse, like I said, is part of the mana base. It's kind of tough to cut those. The Fire Impulses are good against stuff like Lambolt Pacifist as well as Sylvan Advocate. If I had to guess, he's actually playing Pacifist over Hangerback Walker, because Hangerback Walker is just kind of bad in general, I think, in this format. I don't really like Draconic Roar or Running Volley, even though Running Volley can kill Avacyn. You know, they don't play 4 usually. I think they just play 2. I like all the ramp. Maybe Chandra is actually bad. Maybe Chandra's actually bad. Maybe Chandra's too slow. Or, you know, they can get around it pretty easily with, like, Dromoka's command to put a counter on a creature. I don't know. Maybe Dark Dwellers is great. Run it. Reassess after game 2 if we lose. If we don't lose, then we sideboard it perfectly. Or at least that's what I tell myself. This hand is real close to keepable. If I wasn't on camera, I might keep this. I wish I could peek on Mulligan. Alright, this hand is not good. Realist Mountain. We'll go ahead and use the Traverse. We kind of want to try to turn on Spell Mastery. It's actually way easier to turn on Spell Mastery at this point than it is to turn on Delirium early in the game. And I want to make sure if, you know, I might end up needing to use most of my mana on specific turns. So go ahead and get that out of the way. I probably still would have kept 5 land to Tarka. So effectively that's what it was with a Scry. And we do have the Pilgrimage to help ramp a little bit. I definitely want to draw either a Goggles or Hedron Archive or even another Nissa's Pilgrimage to make sure we can cast a Tarka on turn 5. If we are unable to cast a Tarka on turn 5, there's a good chance we just fall too far behind. Let's see what he does. I am curious. If he plays a Lambolt Pacifist on turn 2, it could be pretty bad for us. Especially if he has a way to pump it on turn 3. Ooh, he still has Hangerback in his deck. Okay. There it is. Alright, well, he already knows we have a mountain, so we just show him the mountain. Well, he knows both of them, but... We always want to try to get these into play untapped, even if, early on, I would say, not necessarily untapped. Just because they could end up not getting untapped later in the game. Nissa tick up. Make a plant. Yep. Well, just misclicked and didn't make a plant. Okay. Sorry, dude. Now I'm gonna get to a target and everything. Feel a little bad. Not so bad. I didn't keep a great hand. Feel a little bad. People make mistakes in real life all the time. I can't even tell you how many times I forgot to tick up a Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Probably a dozen. It's a little different though. And I'm just gonna get mangled anyway. Doesn't matter. This matchup is horrible. If I was on to play this game, I actually might have a good chance. But next turn I'm just gonna take a quadrillion damage. At least we have spell mastery. See, that was a joke, because I was worried about that earlier. And we just drew a bunch of lands. Like I said, this deck virtually floods a bunch, but most of the time it just looks way worse than it actually is because Nissa's Pilgrimage puts so many lands in your hand. So here, you can tick up Gideon, tick down Nissa, attack for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, put us to 6. Then we get to Fireball Gideon, and then hope we draw very well after that. Or he just goes make a bunch of emblems. It's also pretty cool. Maybe he'll do it again, or maybe he's going to make a knight. Alright, a little less damage, but still a precarious predicament. Yeah, it's not really helping all that much. It can maybe help us in a moment. But I guess we'll tick 4 at him and 1 at Nissa, so 4, 8, 10. Oh, we're just dead. Never mind. I'm stupid. Forgot maths. No, not really forgot the maths. Never really did them in the first place. So we could maybe cut Traverse here. I'm not completely opposed to it, but as I talked about a lot in the deck tech or whatever, it's a fairly important part of the mana base. You know, we kept a 1-lander earlier with 2 Traverses because it's effectively a 3-land hand if, you know, your land is a green source. It's possible since we're on the play we just don't want Fiery Impulse, since killing like a Hangerback Walker is whatever. He's mostly Planeswalker based. Since we're on the play, maybe I'll just try to Chandra plus Dark Dwellers. Maybe Dark Dwellers is worse than Den Protector, since Den Protector can actually pressure their Planeswalkers if we can get rid of their other creatures, or just get him to 3 power and their creatures are only 2 power. But since he has Limbo Pacifist, I'm not going to worry about it. Just Dark Dwellers. Come on! I don't want to keep mulliganing. This hand is terrible. Alright, way better. I'm not sure if I want to discard the redundant goggles or the Draw Near Temple and hope to ramp. I think I just want to discard the Temple, hope to ramp. Seems like a reasonable thing. You hit a Gideon. That's horrifying. Gideon is so good against this deck. Alright, well if we draw an untapped land, we get to go Temple, bring back Temple, and then either that untapped land or Game Trail. Probably Game Trail. But we still need to find something to do with these goggles. I did think it rather odd he did his sequencing that way. Save some time. Usually want to do that end step, but there's not a play in the world he could make that would make me want to K-return. That's not true. I guess he could go triple Inspector or something like that. Tilt. Alright, kind of hope he goes Gideon, and then we go K-Return. Untap. I don't know what I want to draw. I think Traverse would actually be the perfect draw because it gives us a land and lets us play the Goggles. And potentially gives us Spell Mastery later, or something to do with, what's it called? Goblin Dark Dwellers. So I'm assuming he's going to go Gideon, make it 2/2. My plan, sweep, leave him with just a token. Next turn, play Goggles, hopefully draw a land, or something to do with said Goggles. Although we cut Fire Impulse, so we don't really have a ton. Alright. Not too shabby. Next turn, Tarka, kill Gideon. If he just zeroes again, we actually got to go kill Gideon and Thopter, which is nice. Or as the kids say, it's a Deece. Deece plus. Yeah, the land was a little fortunate for us just because now it guarantees we're able to cast Atarka next turn. Atarka is probably your best card in this matchup just because it's a way for you to interact with Planeswalkers on two fronts, both attacking as well as dealing them damage directly. So he ticks up. He's going to whack me for 6. Maybe he's going to hold up Avacyn. Yep. That's fine. We're not super afraid of Avacyn. I'm going to hold on to this Drowned Temple, though, since we may need it for a Magmatic Insight. And we're just going to deal all 5 to the Gideon, since he ticked up, and now we can't do 4/1. But he doesn't have a 2/2 in play. The 2/2 could be relevant if he has Declaration Stone. He's going to cast Avacyn? Okay. Yeah, my plan is not to kill your Thopter there, broski. Comrade. Yeah, so Avacyn into Declaration Stone, attack for 5, would not be the end of the world because we do have the second Atarka. And we may just get him to a point where we want to just cast the second Atarka anyway. So maybe I would actually prefer if he had Declaration. And remember, we do have the K-Return in the grave, so if we do draw a World Breaker, we can do some funky stuff. Nissa tick down would be a little annoying, because I do want to try to kill both creatures. And to play around Dromoka's command, I actually might just deal all 5 to the Archangel anyway, but not now. Now we're just going to kill Gideon and Thopter. It is going to flip his Avacyn, though. That might be bad. Maybe I just kill Gideon only? What do I do? That's the question. I have a feeling not playing that Jarnier Temple is going to come back to bite me because of that clue. Alright, well if he has a removal spell, I'm dead anyway, right? Well actually no, not if I just kill Gideon. So yeah, I think I'll just kill Gideon. I don't want him to flip his Avacyn because that puts me to 5. Then I'm dead. Another Declaration Stone. Yep. So here I take 7 down to 1. Potentially 1 more if he has the Dromoka's command. And looks like not playing my land and cracking this clue here might end up coming back to bite me. But I think without either clue in play yet, without either Declaration Stone, it was important to make sure. Maybe I should have left the Gideon in play. That's another thing I didn't even think about. Just killing the Angel and the Thopter. I can just block the Gideon, but then he could have attacked me for 7. I was still in basically the same spot, potentially a worse spot because it's actually harder for me to interact with planeswalkers and creatures, thanks to Kozilek's return in the grave. So I can still pop a clue, and then try to draw a Warbreaker in the top 2. If I draw Magmatic or Tormenting Voice, I would need to draw a land in the top 4, so maybe that means discarding the Pyromancer's Goggles over the Drownyard Temple. I wonder if he's just going to play another creature and not play around Worldbreaker. That seems loose. Gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe he's just hangerbacking for 0 and then he's killing me with Flip Avacyn. If that's the case, I probably have to draw exactly Fall the Titan off of my clue in response to the trigger, and then I can do it for 4 total, or yeah, 2. So I have to go 2 to Avacyn, 2 to Thopter, 2 to Avacyn, 2 to Knight. Wow, we did it! Alright, I am going to play the Drownyard though, so I can also crack a clue, but that's kind of ridiculous. Maybe I should kill the Oath of Nissa? Nah. Get that land. Yeah, so I'd like to use K-Return. You can flip your Avacyn all you want to. I bet he goes Secure for 1 into Declaration Stone. Nope. Alright, well, we got a chance. Oh, come on, she's not there anymore. These don't need to be going on the stack Magic Online. That was a real top deck. Just the best possible draw. I'm gonna cast this before I pop the clue. How do we not? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, how do we not have Spell Mastery? I was like, oh wait. Still gonna lose. Just can't even beat Westfell Abbey token if he has a Declaration Stone. Alright, well, we definitely need to draw something next turn. Our 2 clues and our draw step brought us more goggles and lands. And we could just die. Another Abbey. Tilt. All right, we're gonna pull a little Bluffski here. I'm gonna think for a second. Tank, whether or not to quote unquote attack. Can't imagine he's not just going to attack with his 2 creatures, but you never know. Maybe he's going to wait till he gets 1 more creature. Tilt. Dead. Yeah, so a little bit of a tough matchup, and that game specifically, we drew the perfect card, and then we're unable to draw anything after that. So, a little annoying, and he's showing me his Avacyn too, which was pretty tough to beat. Oh, Tormenting Voice would have drawn Fall of the Titans and another Voice and a K return? Drrrsh. If we had 1 more draw step. Westfell Abbey doing its work. Anyway, that was round 3. I'll be back for round 4 in just a sec.